It's easy to lose sleep when you're worried about your health insurance plan. But when you have a family counting on you to take care of them, having the right coverage is more important than ever. That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is here to help. With low to no cost plans for you and your family, so you never go it alone. That's our Anthem. Click to learn more.
Israel is 5,690 miles away from the U.S., 11 hours by plane. Hate travels faster. In a comment, in a post, in a second. Jewish hate is up 388% in the U.S. Black hate, Muslim hate, and Asian hate are up too. When one hate rises, they all do. Let's stand up to all hate together. Share and wear the blue square from standuptojewishhate.org.
What's up, y'all? This is Neena Perez, and this is Straight Talk, No Sugar Added. And I know that you are here to listen to the best humans on the planet to grow, challenge, and transform your thinking. Let's do this. What's up, y'all? Every time my song comes on, I'm like, what? I love that song. Anyway, this is Neena Perez, and this is Straight Talk, No Sugar Added. And I love you guys. You guys are amazing. So you guys have been coming on here and spending time with the people and my guests and all of that, because you guys know I try to find the best humans on the planet to come on here to grow, challenge, and transform your thinking. And so today I found one for y'all. I found one. Her name is Joy Weston. She's a keynote speaker, a podcaster, a 3-time published author, an entrepreneur, and she has owned and operated health and wellness companies for over 30 years. And Sandy is the founder of SJW Productions. I love this, whose main mission is to highlight all of the positive in the world. And Lord knows we need that, Sandy. Lord only knows. How are you?
Oh my God. This is one of my very first night interviews. I love first.
Wow, that's awesome.
Out. I feel like it's so cool. I'm on the radio and it's nighttime.
Right.
I love it.
Thank you for being here. I know it's night, it's chilly out, it's fall is definitely here, but I'm really, really stoked that you're here with me as well. I have a phenomenal audience, so I cannot wait for them to discover more about you. So Sandy, let's start with that little question, right? Who is Sandy?
Who is Sandy?
Who is Sandy? Break it down.
When you were talking about what I've done throughout my life, I'm like, not so bad when someone else says it, right? My whole life, I've been fortunate enough to do what I love, Neena. I feel like the most blessed person on the freaking planet. I've been an entrepreneur my whole life in the health and wellness industry, and I've always said fitness is my vehicle to spread joy. That's it.
Awesome.
And everything I did, I actually heard a guest, I think just a few weeks ago you had on, talk about mental fitness. And that's what I said. Like, listen, if your arms tighten up, okay. But really, I want the brain. I'm all about resetting. And how can we train that brain so that when you go out in the world, life doesn't happen to you, you freaking happen to life. So everything I've done is to teach people different things that seem so easy peasy, but they work, that only take a minute to 3 minutes to get you in that positive, powerful mindset. And I've been doing this since I've been a child. I didn't know what I was doing.
Right.
And I only told my story recently because I wasn't ready before, but I grew up in the projects, no big deal. Okay, fine, humble.
Me too.
Yeah, no biggie. But the part that I didn't really share, because I didn't want people feeling bad or looking at me differently, but now I'm ready. I don't really care. My mom, God rest her soul, spent about 50% at least of her life in mental institutions. And they weren't well funded. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
So it was difficult. It was very difficult growing up in that setting. So not only do you grow up in the projects, but also the project kids were making fun of me because of what they called old lady Weston doing. My dad was a great guy, but not really strong enough to stand up to Ma. So a lot of times he would just leave, sleep in his car or the laundromat because he couldn't handle it. My brother, nothing wrong with it. He took another path. He got stoned a lot and played rock and roll music. Can't blame him. Me, I just was like, there's got to be something different. So I found words, movement, and laughter. 3 different things.
It's awesome.
Words, movement, and laughter. Movement, I would dance. I love dancing. I'd been dancing since I was 4. I put on my jams and I would just call it my dance reset. I would focus in on one word every day. And I'd say, if I can feel whatever the word was, joy, peace, love, and what do they need to get there? While most times I was dancing. And then I would laugh a lot. I would make, light of everything. Those 3 things helped me escape from what was going on around me and visualize where I wanted to go. I had no freaking idea it was going to be this life. I just thought, get me out of here somehow, and everybody was like, Sandy, just be glad, graduate high school, be a waitress, pump gas. Nothing wrong with that. It was fun. Cool. But I was like, I got some bigger plans going on. My higher power helped me out, and here I am today.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't live without my higher power either, man. I get that, and it's something about that too, right? Because I grew up, I was born and raised in the projects as well. I mean, it was just a hard, way to live because you're looking around and you're seeing all the stuff around you, the drugs and the shootouts and the, all that kind of stuff too. And I was in raised in a house where there was a lot of domestic violence, things like that, right? But you're right, Sandy. There's something to it about looking beyond the circumstance, even as you're young, right? I remember dancing and stuff like that for my brothers because while my mother and my stepfather were having these big domestic violent blowouts, I would take them into the room and I would dance for them and sing for them because I was the oldest. Yeah. So I would dance and sing and they would be cracking up, but it was to try to overcome the noise that was going on outside. But there was something about that, right? It was that overcoming like tenacity and spirit that's inside. That's really cool. And I'm glad you shared that. So when you were, so you did the dancing and all of that, but where was it in your life, do you think, that you said, okay, because you said you're an entrepreneur most of your life, right?
All my life. Yeah.
Yeah. So what made you not go the route everybody thought, go to work, be a waitress, pump gas? Like what made you say, nope, I'm going to be an entrepreneur, which is not easy, right? That's hard too. Yeah. So what was that about?
Well, I did waitress many years and pump gas and I had a lot of fun.
Oh, good. Yeah. Yeah.
My movement, my dance took me far. It really did. My uncle, thank you, Uncle Don, paid for my dance lessons. Cool. And it just saved me along, like I said, the words and laughter. And I'd always journal. And I just knew there was more for me out there. And I think I just was an obstinate kid. When everybody would tell me all the reasons something could happen, I'd say, are you sure? Are you really sure?
Right.
And I wanted to be different than everyone else. And so I think it was not that I want to repeat it again, but it was a perfect environment for me because I wanted to do the opposite of what everybody expected. So I studied hours and hours every night for school. I practiced my dance and I ended up getting a scholarship to college. And in addition, because of the financial situation, I can tell you everything I did the best I could. So even if I was a hostess or pumping gas, I didn't compete with others. I wanted to do it really well and shine. And I always had this feeling inside me that I had these 5 angels looking out for me. Even as a kid, when people say, we're worried about you, your mom's like this, your dad, I go, I'm good. I'm solid. I got 5 angels. If you need to borrow them, let me know. And they would laugh, but I just felt that. And I also felt there was something guiding me. I didn't know what, that was bigger, some force. And it was this unconditional love that would love me no matter what I did. Well, can you imagine feeling that as a child? Like, so no matter what you think, that's what I have going for me. So whatever you say, I got that.
Right.
And I would tap into that all the time, not really understanding it. So after college, when I was working at a health and fitness center back in, the days when there weren't that many trainers. I was teaching classes. I always did it to my best ability. Somebody said, hey, come train me in my home. I'm like, okay, you're going to pay me that much money. And I lived in the suburbs of Philadelphia, and the clients are on the main line. They could afford it. And I just cornered the market, and I got every single client who was the who's who back then. And they saw something in me that I didn't see. I just loved doing what I did. I mean, that was what I did. And they're like, you know what? This could be a business for you. And that grew into a private training business. And from there, one of my clients, who was Ed Snyder, who was the owner of the Flyer, said, I'll help you. I'll help you get started. You should open a health club. I was thinking I was going to be a dance instructor and it was going to be great. But I was like, whatever I did to like the best I could. I wanted to be the best I could and spread joy. So I opened up my first health club. Somebody else said, hey, I want you to help me open another health club. That led to the next. Why don't you come on NBC 10 and be a fitness expert? And I was like, okay, I'll try that. Never thought of that.
That's so fun.
And then I went and did that. And that's what happened. And everyone says to me, but tell me how, like, give me the plan. And I said, here's the plan. Take time, take a beat, reset, connect to your heart, and listen and ask for guidance. And everything you do, as much as possible, come from, which I believe is your pure essence, peace, love, and joy. That's my mastering marketing plan. So not that there are amazing things, but let it guide you to the right people that you connect with, the right podcast, the right person. Do that. Take a minute just to connect and then go and be on a show or pick the shows you want to be on or get the job or meet the mate. Just take a beat.
Yeah, that's so good, right? And I love that you talked about all of the way one step led to another, because I think that's or at least what I hear is this anxiety, almost like this desperation to hurry up and be like the best right now, and it's, social media is great, but also has its flaws, right? And I think one of the things is the way things are presented, because you can take a video from something you've been working on for 10 years and you can really quickly go through it and show them today where you are, right? So it's like, wow, that's amazing. Well, that's amazing, but they didn't show you when they were crying in the bathtub because they couldn't pay the bill, or, like really struggling, like we've all been through that, right? So it's pretty like, to me, it's, I love hearing that, because to me, it just sounds like just take one step and then dare to take the next step, because people kept saying to Sandy, hey, Sandy, what about this? And you're like, all right, I'll try it. Try it. Why not?
I'll give it a shot.
I love that.
No, but every single day before I got out of bed, I just focus on that one word. Like, how am I going to show up today? What can if I was not in a high mood, peace, calm, ease and flow.
That's awesome.
And then I asked, keep my eyes and ears open, for what it is that I was going after. And most times it wasn't like, oh, I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to spread joy. Right. How am I going to spread joy? Use me as, a vehicle to spread joy. And what I know, I'm not great at a lot of things, Neena, but what I'm good at, that's what I'm good at. So
that's good, though, because once you find what you're good at and it really aligns with who you are and your purpose, that you're right, it does bring this really deep joy, a really deep joy, not a happiness, giddy thing right now, but that thing that keeps you going when you don't want to go. That thing that keeps you going when your ass says, I want to stay in bed today. Why do I have to go?
But I call it pure joy, because there were many times I had forced joy, because everyone expected Sandy to be Pippy Skippy. She'll spin it. But that feeling of pure joy, you can tap into it no matter what's going on around the world. And
right.
Awesome.
That is awesome. I love that you said life doesn't happen to you. What did you say? You happen
to actually,
life
it was my new keynote. I just went to a course for over a year to work on it. It's life doesn't happen to you. You happen to life.
I love that. I love that. I always say, it's hitting life back when life hits you hard. You know
Ooh,
what
I
I'm
love
saying?
that too.
Yeah.
Smart. That's good.
I love that. So then what is when you're like going through your keynotes and you're like helping people through things, what are those first or second points that you try to give them to start their road to that
Ooh.
joy, that pure joy?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. So I like to keep things simple, Nina. I'm a simple person. Like to teach things that only take a minute to 3 minutes a day because you're more likely to stick with them. And
Yeah.
once you develop those habits, then you can go to the next step. But from owning health clubs, I can tell you, people stand out with all these grand ideas and then crash and burn no matter what they are. Your body and mind likes to see success. So I call it
Mhm, mhm,
your bare ass minimum. Like, what are you going to do? A little bit each day, and
mhm,
then go to the next thing. So the first thing I say to people is before your feet hit the ground, just breathe for 30 seconds, connect to your heart,
mhm.
and how do you want to show up? Just think of a word. If it's 2 words, fine, but just a word. Is it love, peace? Maybe you have a big meeting coming up and you want to be powerful or passionate or fun. You got a big date, whatever it is. And then focus in on that word. Come downstairs and focus in on that word. Put it somewhere. And then before you do anything, say, if I sign this deal, is it going to bring me joy? Is it going to, maybe your
Mm,
word is financial
that's
freedom.
good.
Is it going to be financial freedom? What, answering these emails? I'll tell you, if you do that, you'd be surprised, like, wait, no, I'm doing that out of obligation. No, I'm doing that because I feel like I have to. I'm doing that out of guilt. That's not bringing me pure joy.
Mm,
Just that simple thing could be mind blowing. When I wrote my first book years ago called Train Your Head, Body Will Follow, it took me 6 years to write it because I wanted to study people that I knew innately there was just joy exuding from them. And I was lucky enough because I had thousands of people come in and out of the club. So I'd bribe them. Like, if you give me 2 hours, I'll give you a training or free membership. And I studied them for a year. Couldn't find anything in common. I'm like, yeah, nothing in common. Oh, well. And then I'm sitting there with my coworker. She's like, Sandy, look at this. Every single one of them, their secret sauce was they started their day in a way that put them in a positive, powerful mindset. It didn't matter. It was a few minutes or 2 hours. And
right.
it was all different. It was meditation, singing songs, playing jazz music, playing with their dog, walking, baking muffins, swimming. But they did it relentlessly every day to get in that headset. So I said, well, what if that's why I created journals and books. It was just a guide to give people a way to get them there that would only take a couple minutes to start their day. And then every hour, check in. Wait a minute. I'm not feeling joy. Well, what could I do right now to bring me more joy? Maybe it's a
Mhm,
dance
mhm.
reset. Maybe it's calling a friend. Maybe it's going out, talking to a tree. It's different. I do. They don't talk back sometimes, but
Yeah.
it was just little things. And I know it sounds so, okay, well, that seems so easy, but I say, just do it for
Yeah.
30 days and it'll make a huge difference because we
Yeah.
all get off track. It's just helping you reconnect and listen to what's going on. Like, I'm not saying deny your head and say, oh, I have to think peace, love, and joy. No, what's going on? Am I angry? Am I frustrated? I'm upset. It's okay.
Yeah.
Don't judge it. What's going on up there? Be real. Get down and dirty with yourself. It's not good or bad. I don't like that. It's
Yeah.
just, this is what's going on. It's okay. I'm human. I'm allowed to be that way. But now what? And what can I do to shift myself out of there? So it's not about being joyful all the time. It's getting there quicker and more of
Yeah.
it.
It's intentional, right? It's
Yeah.
really like it's really being having this perspective, this self-reflection. And
Yeah.
I agree with everything you said. I do the same. I don't get my feet don't hit the ground unless I have three things that I'm grateful for that day. And so I love the word part. That's very powerful. I do a word of the year. Like I pick a word
Ooh.
for that year and I focus the whole year on that word and what that means and what that represents. And did I
Wow.
live up to that word? That so my this year my word is juggernaut, right? Because I'm going to just break through everything I'm going to do. I'm just going to break through it. So I'm a juggernaut, right?
I ask everybody before my podcast, what's their word of the month? And no one's ever said that one.
Yeah, juggernaut. So that's my word for the year. And I strongly believe in that, in what you're saying, Sandy, because I think that you're going to have to take responsibility for you first. And the way to do that is to pause with yourself first. I think it was Mr. Rogers that said that that the world has lost its wonder, right? That people don't stay quiet long enough to it's too much. He said it was too much noise, and there's no more wonder, right? And he was
love
such
that man.
Yeah, me too. I grew up with him, love him, and he was just so wise. But it's true, isn't it, Sandy? I think there's a lot of noise, and so what you're saying is let's pause and see what it is that what do we want? Connect with us, I love that. Also, you said, and I also am a big proponent of not judging how you feel, and it's not right or wrong. It just is. It just is, right?
Yeah, and that's why, like, my biggest thing is, don't think this is what I have to do to meditate. This is what I have to do to journal. This is what I have to do to work out. Pish, 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 pish. It's different for everyone.
Yeah.
When I say take a beat to reset just what's going on there and be honest with yourself and look for guidance, it will come. And your way, like you said, your word is for a year. My words every day. I got the attention span of a gnat. I couldn't do a year, but that worked for
hilarious.
you. You know what I'm saying? Like, find, take pieces and then make it yours. Make it for you.
Yeah, that's really powerful. So, what does Sandy do when something comes that is tough? Ooh. Something, that moment that you're like, I want to do nothing but throw something, or something like that. Like, what is it that you do to recenter yourself to get through?
3 different things I do all the time, and they're so different. Once they're all over, but the first one is I do dance resets. So every hour, sometimes I'll get up, and if I'm really angry, I'll be out in the front porch or back porch, and I'll be just dancing.
Oh, good for you. That's so good.
Dance, I move. I dance in supermarkets. That I don't care. I just dance.
I do too.
Just for a minute, I just dance. And I put on music sometimes. Sometimes I sing. I'm horrible. I dance. So simple, but for me, it gets me in the headset. Second thing I do is journal. I call it either my brain drain or I call it scribble scrabble. And either writing what I want to do or want to accomplish, or I'm getting out how I really feel about those people that I said gratitude towards, who are my sticky Wiccans, but I get it out. And then I put a big X through it. And now what am I going to do? And then the other thing that I do is a simple breathing exercise. So your pure essence, everyone's pure essence is peace, love, and joy. Your body works better. Your brain works better when it's coming from peace, love, and joy. So I will just sit with my feet flat on the floor, hands on my lap, and I will breathe in 4 counts the word peace from everything from the universe, hold it at the top, and then I breathe it out to everyone. And then I sit and I think about what brings me peace, and I get there. And then I go to the next word, love. Do the same thing. Breathe it in, and then I do joy. And I will do that if I'm going on something or having a meeting and I'm very anxious and it right away it settles me, because just doing that for a couple minutes, peace, love, and joy, first of all, you're reconnecting, it settles yourself down, which is complete opposite of a dance reset.
Right.
But those are the 3 things that I do all the time, besides focusing on words. And I laugh about the dumbest thing. I laugh and crack myself up, and nobody thinks I'm funny, but I do.
I love you. Are you kidding? I'm listening to you and I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so me. I will literally start dancing in the middle of the supermarket. My husband keeps walking. He's like, I'm not with her.
Oh, but no, they will.
Yeah, my kids will, though. They will dance with me in the middle of the supermarket.
Girls or boys, and what age?
Boys. Well, they're adults now. So 33 and 28. But I even have a little video. Went to a candy store and they started playing some good music. It was like a Kool and the Gang or something. And we're just like, what? I started dancing. So that my boys started dancing. My husband, you see him turn around and walk away.
My son and husband would be like, we don't know her. We don't know her.
That's my daughter and my husband. They walk away, but my boys,
my daughter would
dance with
stay.
me.
My daughter lives in Florida, but she would dance with me.
And if you were dancing, I would actually go up to you and start dancing. Like, that's just how I am.
See,
right?
I've never ever had that happen.
It's
Ever.
so fun. So fun. I do it. Yeah. You got to come to Connecticut, shop at ShopRite, and I'll meet you in the aisle.
Right. I don't like grocery shopping, so we'll have to go somewhere else. I hate grocery shopping.
So funny. You are so infectious, Sandy. That's what you are. I'm sure that everybody who has you at their keynotes and read your book or whatever just can feel your energy coming through. I think what you're, putting in the world is so valuable. It's so important because, like I said, we're getting drowned out. It's just too much noise. And I think, I hope so anyway. I feel like the more and more people that I speak to, the more I'm finding that they need that peace. Like they really are seeking that peace, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do we get them there?
Like this. They're
yes.
like,
yes. How do you get them there? How do you get them there? How do you think we can all kind of like band together and get all these other people there?
Well, I think, Neena, what you're doing and putting out in the world is really a huge help. And recognizing you're there. That's the thing. Like, it's okay. Like, not like I have clients that are like, don't tell anybody I'm your client because they don't want to admit you there. I'm like, what? You think the rest of the world's got it together? I mean,
right.
No,
right.
What are you talking about?
Right.
They're all like this, So
yeah.
It's being, they say, being okay with not being okay. It's more of realizing, I swear, that you're just amazing the way you are. You're loved unconditionally, not because you have a bestseller, not because this is a hit, not because you're whatever. You're just unconditional love. You're awesome. And be at peace if you're not feeling, just so happy and joyful. It's okay. And the more you're okay with that, the faster you shift out of that. And the more that you feel that for yourself, it spreads. So that's like when you said about working on yourself, the more that you shine the light on you and how amazing and not ego, but how powerful you are with the gifts that you've got, then it'll shine through. Because everyone says, well, I'm not as great a writer as that person. I'm not as big speaker. You came with unique gifts. I don't know what they are, maybe it's just boop, 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 whatever it is. Shine it bright. Don't underestimate you. I promise you will motivate someone. You'll inspire someone.
Yeah.
You'll make them feel loved, that they matter
so true.
in the world.
Yeah. You also, I think, protect yourself from all the yucky stuff in the world too, because once you start to refocus, like, when people are like overwhelmed with all the social media and all of the regular media and all the news, and I'm like, refocus. Come on now. Let's come back. This is not new. This is not new in the world. No. Not new.
Nope.
We just have to refocus on, because people always say, how could you be so happy? How could I not? How can I afford not to be happy?
Yeah.
I can't afford that because my life is like this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have time to be unhappy.
When somebody came to me the other day, oh my God, I can't believe it. Aren't you sad about da? I go, let me ask you something. Do you really want me to come in that cold pool with you? Do you? Because you don't want me there. You want me over here in this energy so that I can bring you and raise your energy. You think you want me in the cold pool with you, but you really don't.
That's right.
And took me years. I protect myself from that. Like, not that I don't go and hang out with people, because everybody has bad things happen in their life and sad things and painful things. But people that are always there, I love them. That's what they are. I love them from a distance. I said, that's what they have the capacity. But I'm not coming in the pool with you because I can't get.
I'm with you.
sad enough to help you. I can't get sick enough to help you. Like, you
Right.
want me over here. Trust me. So I'll do
Mhm.
anything I can to spin around over there.
I love it. I love it. So before I let you go though, because I'm like loving you, what is SJW Productions? Tell me about that.
So I sold my health clubs in 2019. I did not know
Oh,
about
recent.
COVID, but
Wow, right before.
that's my higher power, baby.
I was just
Anyhow,
gonna say that. I was just
but
gonna
my
say that.
side gig was SJW Productions, which was doing speaking engagements, workshops, writing books, and doing podcasts when it was a radio 10 years ago. So I just made my and some clients. So I made my side gig my main gig. Again,
Awesome.
all to spread joy.
That is awesome, man. That's so good, right? Isn't it so good? And all it really did was like affirm the fact that you are connected to that higher power, that you're connected and that you are listening and that you're paying attention, right? And God just guided you, or your connection guided you to that.
I went
place.
kicking and screaming. I didn't want to, but it was like,
Yeah.
okay.
But aren't you glad? Aren't you glad that you didn't kick and scream too long? So good. So good with Sandy. You're amazing. So before I let you go, I do want my audience to know how they can support you. So buy your books, follow you, do all that great stuff, even like maybe have you for one of their keynotes, things like that. So how can people get in touch with Sandy Joy Weston?
So everything you can find on sandyjoyweston.com. Everything about my books, my keynotes. Yeah, book me, baby. I'll rock your audience.
That's right.
And
You
I'm
will.
on social media. Everything is Sandy Joy Weston with an O-N. They can find me everywhere.
Sandy, thank you so much. I know this is the evening for you, and I really appreciate you being on here. This was really fun. This is my last one for the night, and I am so glad it was you. Thank you.
I want to hug you. I want to hug you.
I want to hug you too. We're not that far from each other either. We gotta meet
I'm
up one
spur of the
day.
moment. I could be knocking on your door tomorrow. She's like, Sandy's here.
Not my energy. I'll be like, girl, get in here. Let's go. Thank you for being here, Sandy. I appreciate you. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Hey guys, thank you so much for listening. You are the best, okay? I have the best podcasting community ever. I really do. And I appreciate you guys being on here. Make sure you go on to winject.com/register, winject.com/register, and register for my free community, because I want to be really connected with you, and I want us to brainstorm and be with each other and connect in a deeper way. If you are looking for coaching, please make sure that you also email me at hello@straighttalknosugaradded.com. I work with women and I help them develop that business that they are envisioning in their hearts so that they can win. Thank you guys so much for being here. Love you, love you, love you. This is Neena Perez, Straight Talk, No Sugar Added. Until next time.
It's easy to lose sleep when you're worried about your health insurance plan. But when you have a family counting on you to take care of them, having the right coverage is more important than ever. That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is here to help. With low to no cost plans for you and your family, so you never go it alone. That's our Anthem. Click to learn more.